Hello and welcome to AP Football Analysis. I'm going to be talking about the Sutton United versus Arsenal match in the FA Cup round 5. The match ended 2-0 in favour of Arsenal with goals to Lucas Perez at the 26th minute and Theo Walcott at the 55th minute. But it didn't always seem like Arsenal had the game under control. In fact, it won't be kept in the annals of football history, I don't think. It was a pretty lackluster game from both sides, but obviously Sutton are a non-league side and Arsenal are a Premier League side. So, I thought that Arsenal would be dominating this game, and in my preview I actually predicted they would win 5-0. But irrespective of that, Arsenal did what they needed to do today. In the Champions League, they performed really poorly against Bayern Munich, and they'd been pretty lackluster in Premier League outings over the past few weeks. But even though that had happened, they still needed to come and play today. It was 11 versus 11 against Sutton, and they did what they had to do, which is a really pleasing thing tonight, I think. And let's not forget either, Sutton played quite well tonight. They did not look like a non-league side. They looked like they could hold their own in one of the higher leagues, maybe League 1 or League 2. They had some really pacey players who provided us with a couple little headaches here and there. Deacon in particular, he looked like a genuine A-grader. Well, not an A-grader as in Premier League, but certainly someone who could play, league-level football and do quite well for himself. And our defenders, were always, looking around to see where he was because he posed a threat for them, and it was fantastic. What was also fantastic was just the way the community came around that club. Sutton, obviously, as I've said before, they're a non-league side. They're pretty small. It's a club run by volunteers, pretty much. I think I was listening to the club chairman speak during the week, and he said they only had 3 full-time employees for a football club, and that is amateur stuff. And to get 5,000 people there, 5,000 diehard supporters cheering on their side as they were defying the odds here and there and everywhere, it was awesome. As a football purist, I love those sorts of stories. I loved Leicester last year coming first in the Premier League, even though it meant that my team, Arsenal, didn't, but they defied the odds. David and Goliath story, and as a sports purist, as a football purist, I love those sorts of stories. So it was a really nice event. It was great to see the people come out and support their team, and I think the people of Sutton would have really been proud of their boys and the way they conducted themselves tonight. So fantastic effort from those guys all round. Now I'm going to get into ratings now. Espina was pretty good in goal. He was good midweek as well against Bayern. We would have been far worse off without him there. But he was good today. He commanded the area well, and he had a very organised defence tonight. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Mustafi was good. He was certainly better than he was midweek. He, again, commanded the area pretty well and sort of led the charge there into defence. I'll give him a 7 as well. Rob Holding was a little bit cagey tonight. He let a couple of things go through. He wasn't manning as well as he probably should have been. And he just had a couple of good defenders there to help him out. I'll give him a 6, and that's probably being a little bit generous for him tonight. Nacho Monreal was a little bit clumsy in defence again, but he was pretty solid down the wing and provided some opportunities. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Gabriel was okay. He's pretty good. I don't like seeing him at right back. That's not his position. He should always be in the central, a centre mid, so he should always be there. He shouldn't be on the right. He played all right. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 just because he did his job. He was serviceable, and that's about it. Mohamed El Nani provided a lot of opportunities, particularly early on. He did go off, so I can't really give him too high a score because he wasn't there to sort of show himself too much. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Granit Xhaka was always in the game, but I think he could have done better. He should be absolutely dominating a Sutton team like that. He didn't seem all that interested in the game. He gave away a silly yellow card just because he's Granit Xhaka, and that's what Granit Xhaka does. I'll give him a 6 as well. Rain Adelaide was not that good, in all honesty. I didn't really think he was good in the attacking midfielder position. He doesn't have the final touch, I don't think. I've seen a couple games of Rain Adelaide, and he doesn't seem to have that final touch to provide the strikers like a Mesut Ozil does. And tonight, I think he got himself in the books as well for being a little bit silly, or at least gave away a silly free kick close to their end. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10, and that's being a little bit generous as well. Alex Iwobi, he was always a threat, and I think that he did quite a solid job. He wasn't out of his depth this week like he was midweek against Bayern. Again, he was serviceable, so I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Lucas Perez was always dangerous, always. And he, from get-go, from minute one, he was always providing opportunities. He was always making runs. He was even defending and helping out Gabriel in defence, which is, another example as to why Gabriel shouldn't be a right back. But enough on that. Lucas Perez was absolutely fantastic tonight. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Scored a fantastic goal that wasn't touched by Walcott, I don't think. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for him. It was pretty good. And Theo was similar to Walcott. I think he was always in the game. Theo was always similar to Lucas. He was always in the game. And he scored quite a solid goal as well. His 100th goal for club, which is a great effort by him. He's been an excellent servant. And I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He wasn't quite as good as Lucas Perez tonight, but I'll give him a 7 out of 10 for a solid goal and a pretty solid all-round performance. I'm going to give Ox a 7 as well. We came on for El Neni. Ox was very good. Ox has been fantastic for the past 2 months. Let's be real. He's a great player. He's really taken his game up a notch this year. He's always had that potential to be a really good player, but he's fantastic now. I really love watching him play. Maitland-Niles, I didn't see much of him tonight. He came on late in the game. But yeah, I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. He was serviceable. I didn't really notice him do anything bad. So, just an automatic 6 out of 10 for him. And Alexis Sanchez, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 as well. He didn't do a hell of a lot. He didn't come on with too much time to go, so he didn't have much chance to showcase himself, but he put in a couple good passes in the final third, and he overall did his role when we had the game wrapped up. So in summary, it was a pretty entertaining game, even though the skills were lacking somewhat this evening. I think it was great to see the community of Sutton get out and support its team. Like I said earlier, I'm a bit of a romantic, with regards to this. I love seeing really small teams in terms of finances, in terms of support, come up against the bigger teams. And the FA Cup is the perfect league or the perfect competition to showcase that. And this is where you see the teams that are probably a little bit behind those big Premier League sides able to rise up and really showcase what they're all about in front of a global audience. I just thought it was awesome tonight. It was fantastic. And I really enjoyed watching the game. And good on Sutton and good on those players for really putting in a solid performance. And obviously for Arsenal, a 2-0 result was solid. It's what we needed to do, especially after the Champions League performance midweek, and especially after the lacklustre results over the past few weeks in general. We're quite a bit behind in the Premier League. Obviously, Chelsea are running away with that, and the likelihood of beating Bayern Munich by the required goal difference on the return leg at the Emirates in a couple of weeks is very, very unlikely. Obviously, it's not impossible, but it's very, very unlikely based on our performance during the week. But in terms of the FA Cup, we're still involved. We're still in it. And we're playing Lincoln City in the next round, which is another game similar to Sutton because, you've got a non-league side who are defying the odds and beating the opposition that they're coming up against, and they're doing quite well. And I enjoy being a part of these games, or I enjoy my team, Arsenal, being a part of these games, because it means that Arsenal is able to be a part of these clubs' histories. These games are massive in terms of their histories. The FA Cup, deep into the FA Cup, is a massive result for a non-league side, and for Arsenal to be a part of that, it's good. And I think that Arsenal showed the respect that they should have against a team like Sutton. They didn't just throw out their under-23s or their reserves and save some first-team players for the Premier League. They went out and played the game the way it should be played. And that's what I really liked. I really enjoyed the fact that Arsene Wenger chose a pretty solid side and we gave them the respect that they deserved, and Sutton didn't let us down, and they didn't let the viewers down or their supporters. So all in all, it was a pretty solid game from us tonight. It was a solid game all round. Probably not the best in terms of skills, but we got the job done. We did what we had to do, and we go into the FA Cup still alive and beating and ready to go around next time. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys. If you do like it, subscribe and hit the like button and join me for the next video. Thanks very much, guys. Have a good one.